why Bill Maher is mistaken about Venezuela. Today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Today we are going to discuss why Bill Maher is mistaken about Venezuela. And yes, I know that I have been harsh recently with some Republican right-wing populist figures that they like to use Venezuela as a cautionary tale, and on that particular endeavor, they make mistakes, say exaggerated or inaccurate statements that, of course, are inaccurate, and my job here is to give you the best intel about the Venezuelan, even if it's good or bad. I'm not saying what I want, I say what it is. Okay, so I have to go to the other side on this particular case and answer to Bill Maher, that, in case you don't know, Bill Maher is actually a figure, a media figure. He's a comedian. He's center left-leaning. He is on the Democrat Party. I mean, he supports the Democrat Party. He's not a politician. He's a comedian and commentator and that kind of thing. And he also makes mistakes regarding, of course, he makes a bunch of mistakes, but in this particular regard, Venezuela, he made some particular piece that I have to debunk as well. Now, first, something I have to say is I don't agree regarding politics, economics, or social issues with Bill Maher. However, it's something that he's a comedian, he's very funny, so I find a lot of value on his entertainment. He's an entertainer, not a politician or a journalist or anything like that. And every now and then I watch Bill, and I don't agree most of his political views. However, today I'm reacting because he mentioned Venezuela yet again as a cautionary tale, and I have to address that. Okay, first, he did a piece. He has a show named Real Time with Bill Maher and talks about politics and that kind of thing, using some, sarcastic, humoristic demeanor, and he gets interviews and gets people from both sides of the aisle, both, hard, progressive Democrat, but also he gets a few Republicans as well. And basically, that's the dynamic of the show. And at the end, he has a segment, the best segment of the show, I have to say, that is called New Rules. And he addressed some particular issue regarding politics, economics, whatever may be the case, from his point of view. And that's completely fair. And he do it a very well-produced segment with some satire and humoristic views. But at the same token, he is addressing some important issue on Bill Maher's mind. Very good on that. However, he did a piece recently talking about women in the Middle East, talking about, of course, this particular issue that we have right now in the world between Israel and Palestine. And he is basically pro-Israel on this particular field, and I don't criticize that. And he criticized a lot the left, extreme left, progressive, woke people that in the U.S. are protesting in favor of Palestine and addressing kind of like the hypocrisy that most of the woke progressive people, they are actually, for instance, a lot of the community LGBTQ, so homosexuals, just for the sake of the conversation, and also women that are very liberal, very promiscuous, and that kind of thing, usually are on this particular crowd. Okay, no judging, it's just it is what it is. Now, he points out that it's very hypocritical of those kind of people protesting for the rights of Palestine. Meanwhile, on these countries in the Middle East, those countries are very draconian regarding both the liberties of women and also homosexual people. So basically, that particular segment of Bill Maher's, he is talking about how women are treated in the Middle East, and they have to follow these draconian views. Draconians for Western standards, but in the Middle East, have their particular culture that I'm not criticizing. It is what it is. But, of course, the freedom of women and homosexuals over there is something that is very taboo, and women have to wear this particular outfits, and I can think I'm not criticizing Middle Eastern culture, Muslim, that kind of thing. Now, the point is that he starts pointing out, he starts comparing the freedom that women and homosexuals have on United States and Western nations compared to the lack of freedom on Middle Eastern countries like Palestine. And basically he's saying that that protests of liberals and homosexuals over there that they are doing on US universities and college campuses, those kind of places, they cannot do it and they maybe end up with harsh consequences on those folks in the Middle East, and starts quoting places like Saudi Arabia, and I don't remember, but they quote a bunch of Middle Eastern countries and quote Venezuela, and that's what I have to say. Hold my beer.
No laws against domestic violence or spousal rape. 20 countries have marry your rapist laws.
Now, why Bill Maher is mistaken, is very mistaken about Venezuela, is regarding the issue about women and homosexuals. And Venezuela actually is something I have to explain first. This is mostly to people from the United States that think, because in the United States, people think left-leaning and communism and socialism and that kind of thing, they associate those political bias with woke culture, progressive, LGBTQ, that kind of thing. Venezuela, indeed, the Venezuelan government have a very extreme left-leaning views regarding politics, and they used to have also socialist communist policies back on the day regarding economics, and right now they have more of a center-left economic policy, just economics and very extreme left regarding politics. However, regarding society, the Venezuelan society, including the Venezuelan government, they are actually conservatives. That doesn't mean they are the 1950s conservative, step for wife conservative, no, nothing like that. But we don't have woke culture like people in the US or Spain and even other countries in Latin America, like Mexico, that I'm starting seeing that right now. We don't have these particular issues in Venezuela regarding LGBTQ rights. I mean, they have like the parade, the pride parade of that community in Caracas. They have one parade, but that's pretty much about it. However, the people from the community, let's call it, the homosexuals, that is what it is, they can live here in Venezuela, they are not judged. Okay, they get a little bit, jokes thrown around them, that kind of thing, but actually they are very happy, they do their own thing, they go to their own places, they have their milieu, so nobody bothers them. Now let's talk about women's rights here in Venezuela, and actually women have every rights that a man has here in Venezuela, and actually committing a crime against a female is something very harsh and seriously punished by Venezuelan authorities, regardless of politics. In order to sum it up, Bill Maher is mistaken relating Venezuela with these Middle Eastern social issues. Yes, very, very, very mistaken. Number one, why? Venezuela is not a Middle Eastern society, anything like that. Women have every right, they can dress however they want, they can do whatever they want. Of course, that is legal. They can divorce, they can do pretty much everything that a woman can do in the United States or Western Europe, whatever may be the case. However, the Venezuelan society, including the government, they are conservative regarding social issues, disputed social issues, and we don't have, we have, of course, people from the community, we have homosexuals here, but we don't have these draconian LGBTQ policies, anything like that. This is not the 1950s. We are here in Venezuela. The Venezuelan society is more conservative compared to the American society, and even other Latin American societies is way more conservative than the Western Europe society. However, it's not as conservative as places in Eastern Europe, like Russia, for instance. Venezuela is way more liberal. It's more liberal than Russia and the Eastern Europe places and Central Asia places. But Venezuela is way, way far regarding these particular policies and culture regarding women and homosexual people that you have in countries in the Middle East. That is their culture. I'm not going to get involved on that. So the main point is that using Venezuela as a cautionary tale that compared to the culture in the Middle East and how they treat women and women's rights and homosexual rights, that is completely false. That's completely not the case. Venezuela is not anything like that. Venezuela is not Saudi Arabia. It's not Palestine. It's not Israel, of course. It's not Iran, a place like that. So please, it's completely mistaken to even begin to think that Venezuelan culture is similar to Middle Eastern Muslim culture.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.